Good morning, YouTubers. This, as you can see, is a bunch of peanut butter jars that seemingly is full of ice. Now, why would somebody fill ice in peanut butter jars, you ask? Well, we happen to have a maple sugar bush behind our house. We have 16 buckets that are tapped. This is for all personal use. This is what is known as the Walden effect. So you take all of the sap that you get from the trees and you freeze the bigger portion. This is all just fresh sap right from the trees that's been frozen in our chest freezer. You let it freeze, you let it melt down, and you take 30% of the entire weight, and that is your keeping, or that's what you keep. The rest of it is basically just water. You can keep it if you want and melt it down and drink it, and you still get a little bit of sugar, but it's not really the same. Or you can just drink the sap right from the trees. Apparently it's really good for you. Anyways, so, well, what happens when you do this? So you sift it all down. We're just using coffee filters and a regular filter, and there's a little bit of fluid in that bucket, and that is your second freeze liquid. So that is what I have here in these smaller peanut butter jars, which are half the size of the big ones. And you, once again, let these fully freeze, and you take it down once again to about 30%. And as you can see from this jar right here, that is our final, what we call burn down product. So that will be a 50-50 mixture, probably a 50-50 mixture of sap and water. So we collect those, and that is what we eventually burn down on our fire pit to get our maple syrup. Once again, this is called the Walden effect. It's fairly efficient. It's not as efficient as the more professional Mennonites, or whatever you want to call them in your city, town, country, whatever. The people who live off the land, or people who rely on the land. But anyways, we have gotten at least 3 gallons of maple syrup out of all of this. Now, this does take quite a bit of work, and our trees are currently flowing because it is a nice warm day outside. I have just gone and got 3 full buckets, the same size as this white one, of sap from our trees. So I'll have to, once again, when I get all these empty, fill them back up, put them in the freezer, and do the process all over. Once you get it down to the blue lid jar, that's when you boil it down over a fire pit or whatever source of heat you want to use it on. We just do the fire pit because of the quantities that we get. And then we bring it into the house for a final burn down. Anyways, that is the Walden effect. It is one way of getting maple syrup from maple sap. Have a good one.